Hello, everyone. I'm Ann Perry, Area Director for AFSP Michigan, back again with our second installment of our Wellness Wednesday series, which we do every Wednesday in May for Mental Health Awareness Month at 5 p.m. And this is just an opportunity for us to really give a spotlight to our community partners and maybe our statewide partners as well, so that you can see who's out there in your neighborhood and who's in your area. And so we're really excited to be able to do that with some of our partners. And one of those partners is the fantastic Kiesha Jackson, who I'm so happy to have here with us today. Kiesha is the executive director of Caleb's Kids. Kiesha, welcome.
Thank you so much, Ann, for having me, especially on such an important month.
Happy to have you. So let's get started. Why don't you tell me a little bit about yourself and the origin story of Caleb's Kids and how it came to be?
Yes. So again, I'm Kiesha Jackson. I'm the founder and executive director of Caleb's Kids. Caleb's Kids was started in 2016 after unfortunately losing my younger brother, Caleb, to suicide at the end of 2015. When Caleb passed away, it left so many questions unanswered. I didn't know that he was in distress, and I didn't know that even if he was in distress, that he was considering ending his life. So I then engulfed myself in all things mental health and came across such critical stats around suicide in our young people. With suicide being the second leading cause of death, one of the biggest preventative factors is through mental health education early on. So that's where Caleb's Kids was founded. We work with young people to teach them about mental health concerns, to teach them how to recognize signs of distress within themselves, within their peers, but then also to teach them that coping skills to work through those challenges. So that if they're learning how to work through those challenges, if we're working with them to normalize help seeking behaviors, to normalize them talking with someone about their concerns, then we can do our part to help prevent suicide.
I love it. So where are you located and what area do you service?
Yes, so we are located in Detroit. So we are located on the west side of Detroit, and we work primarily with young people in middle school and high school. We also have outreach for anyone connected to them. So parents, teachers, other professionals that work with young people who want to learn more about how to help a young person who is in distress. We also work with those communities as well.
So, being in the city, being in Detroit, we know that sometimes in more urban areas like that, there might not necessarily be access to mental health services for everyone. There might not, the schools might not have a counseling department. There might not be as many therapists, around. So, with that, hurdle in your way, how do you go ahead and then reach the people that really need this information? How do you reach those parents? How do you reach the students? What kind of work are you doing?
Yes, and that is a really good question. So, one of the things that we do, we have a really big vertical where we have community outreach. And we have an outreach where we go to where the community is. When we think about mental health events, such as the ones that AFSP throws in and other mental health organizations, the people that are there are already engaged in mental health somehow. So, we need to be able to reach the people who aren't engaged in mental health efforts. So, we go to where the community is. If there is an event at a park, maybe there is just a kid fun day at the park. We are at the park with a resource table set up. If there is maybe a vendor event in the community where people are coming to buy clothing items or food items, one of the tables at those vendors events is the Caleb's Kids table. And we use that time and opportunity to pass out resources about depression, pass out resources about anxiety, suicide prevention, therapists, just to create some awareness about what exists and what helpful options are out there for people in their time of need.
I love that. And I completely agree. When we table events, people expect us to be at a mental health fair or even at an art fair, things of that nature. But they don't necessarily expect you to be at, for example, we tabled the Detroit Tigers opening day for many years in a row. And I love that because somebody turns the corner, they're there to enjoy the baseball game and have a great time with their friends, and they see us, and that really leads towards the very genuine conversations and connections, I find. So when you kind of catch people off guard like that, and part of what you're doing, part of what we do at AFSP is to normalize this conversation around mental health. So
Right.
wherever you can have those, real honest conversations, I feel like that's really good work being done there.
Yes, absolutely. I can't agree more.
And you mentioned, tabling at some of our events. I know that you were at the Detroit Walk last year. Are we going to be seeing you again this year?
Yes, absolutely. That is one of our favorite events of the year. Such a good event to be around others who support suicide prevention efforts, but others who support people who have experienced suicide loss. So we are so looking forward to it. We spend a lot of time engaging with everyone that comes, but we spend a lot of time just going from table to table ourselves because there's always such good resources there and such great people there. So we are so looking forward to that event again this year.
I love that. And then nothing we're going to announce yet, but you and I have also talked about some other ways that we can maybe partner in the future. And I'm excited about what we have in store, but we'll
Yes,
get to that in due time.
we
Anything
are
else that
very
you
excited
want?
as
Yeah.
well.
Anything else that you want people to know about Caleb's Kids?
Yes, we are always looking to partner with people. So if you have a need, please contact us, churches, schools, other community groups. If there is a need, we are there. We want to ensure that we are providing tools, resources, education, workshops to as many people as we can. We all have mental health and we all have to be there for each other, be there for our communities. And it takes each of us to have a part and role in this if we want to help prevent suicide.
Absolutely. So tell the people where they can find you.
Yes, our website, calebskids.org, or you can hit us up on any of our social media channels Facebook, Twitter, as well as Instagram, all at Caleb's Kids.
Kiesha, thank you so much for joining us here today. I hope that people, click on some of those links or go and follow you. You're doing great work, boots on the ground work in Detroit, and I'm sure that you're making an impact, you're making a difference. So thank you for what you do.
Thank you so much, Anne. Thank you again for having me today.
And everyone else, thank you for joining us. We will be back next week with another guest who we're still ironing out the kinks for, but I guarantee that it'll be a good one. And then the following week, we're going to have the Wellness Warriors of Rochester Hills. We'll see you soon.